Imagine a common household item lurking in your kitchen, potentially linked to cancer. Yes, we're talking about Teflon, a material so widespread it's found on most non-stick cookware. It's known for its ease of use and cleaning, but beneath that shiny surface hides a shocking revelation. Some studies suggest a potential link between Teflon and an increased risk of cancer. It's a startling fact that makes you rethink your everyday cooking. But how did this come to be? Let's delve into the history of Teflon. Rewind to 1938, a lab in New Jersey and a chemist named Roy Plunkett. Picture this. Our man Plunkett is on a mission, not to create a new type of non-stick pan, but to invent a new type of refrigerant. He's fiddling with a compound called tetrafluoroethylene, or TFE for short. It's a normal day in the lab until something extraordinary happens. The TFE, stored in pressurized cylinders, mysteriously vanishes. Plunkett, intrigued, decides to investigate. He opens up the cylinder and, to his surprise, finds a strange white powder. This isn't a failed experiment, it's a happy accident. That white powder is none other than polytetrafluoroethylene, the chemical we now lovingly call Teflon. What makes Teflon so special? It's got two big things going for it. First, it's non-reactive. You can throw anything at it and it just sits there, unbothered. Acid, base, it doesn't matter. Teflon stays cool, calm, and collected. Second, it's got a high melting point. This stuff can take the heat. This makes it an ideal candidate for all sorts of high-temperature applications. These unique properties were quickly recognized, and Teflon found its way into all sorts of industries, from aerospace to telecommunications. But arguably, its most famous use is in our kitchens. Non-stick pans, utensils, even cake molds, Teflon has revolutionized the way we cook. And so, Teflon found its way into kitchens across the world? From military applications in World War II to your breakfast pan, Teflon's journey was swift. This seemingly innocuous substance, made up of carbon and fluorine, quickly found its way into a myriad of applications, becoming a household name. Teflon's rise to fame began in the kitchen. Its non-stick properties made it a darling of the culinary world, with chefs and home cooks alike marveling at how easily food slid off of Teflon-coated pans. Gone were the days of stubborn food residues clinging to cookware. Now, a simple swipe of a cloth was all it took to clean up after a meal. But the use of Teflon wasn't confined to the kitchen. It permeated other areas of our lives, often without us even noticing. It was used to insulate wiring in electronics, as a lubricant in machinery, and even in the production of certain types of clothing. Its resistance to heat and chemicals made it a versatile material, useful in a wide range of industries. Beyond the domestic and industrial realms, Teflon even found its way into the world of medicine. Its inert properties made it an ideal material for medical devices. For instance, it was used in the production of catheters and sutures, providing a smooth surface that minimized tissue irritation during medical procedures. In the realm of space exploration, Teflon played a crucial part. It was used to coat the heat shields of space shuttles, protecting them from the intense heat generated during re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. As Teflon's applications grew, so did its popularity. It seemed that there was no problem that Teflon couldn't solve. It was hailed as a wonder material, and its creator, Dr. Roy Plunkett, was lauded for his accidental but groundbreaking invention. However, as with many things in life, not everything was as rosy as it seemed. As Teflon wove its way into the fabric of daily life, questions began to arise about its safety. But as Teflon rose in popularity, so did concerns about its safety. The dark clouds over the shiny, non-stick surface started gathering in the late 1960s. It was during this time that health concerns linked to Teflon began to surface. For years, Teflon was seen as a wonder material, making our lives easier in the kitchen. But beneath the surface, something darker was brewing. The main culprit was a chemical known as perfluorooctanoic acid, or PFOA for short. Used in the production of Teflon, PFOA was found to be a persistent organic pollutant. This means it doesn't break down easily in the environment or in the human body. The problem was PFOA was turning up in places it shouldn't, from the blood of polar bears in the Arctic to the umbilical cords of babies in the United States. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, studies began to link PFOA to a variety of health issues. Laboratory tests on animals showed that high levels of PFOA could cause several types of tumors, and workers in factories where Teflon was made had a higher risk of developing certain types of cancers. But these studies weren't clear-cut. The levels of PFOA used in these experiments were often far higher than what you'd find in your average non-stick pan. And while workers exposed to PFOA had a higher risk of cancer, it wasn't certain that PFOA was the cause. Other chemicals used in the production of Teflon could also be to blame. Despite the uncertainty, the evidence was mounting. The shiny, non-stick surface of Teflon, once seen as a symbol of modern convenience, was now cast in a darker light. The world was waking up to the potential dangers lurking in their kitchen cupboards. The era of Teflon's unblemished reputation was coming to an end. The late 1960s marked the beginning of a long and complex journey to uncover the truth about Teflon and PFOA. It was a journey filled with scientific intrigue, corporate scandal, and a growing sense of public unease. This was the beginning of a medical enigma. As the 21st century rolled in, the medical world started questioning, could Teflon cause cancer? This question gave birth to a flurry of studies and research diving deep into the relationship between Teflon and cancer. One compound in particular stood out, perfluorooctanoic acid, or PFOA, a key ingredient in producing Teflon. Several studies have shown that PFOA can cause cancer in laboratory animals. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, for instance, classified PFOA as a possible human carcinogen, based on evidence from studies on animals and some limited human data. This stirred a massive debate within the scientific community and the public. There were also some studies that linked PFOA exposure to kidney and testicular cancer in humans. However, the results were not definitive and were often mired in controversy. Critics argued that these studies were not conclusive, citing issues with sample sizes, control groups, and the difficulty of isolating PFOA exposure from other potential causes of cancer. Adding fuel to the fire, in 2005, a science panel found a probable link between PFOA and 6 health conditions, including testicular and kidney cancer. This revelation intensified the debate around Teflon's safety, but it's not all clear-cut. Some researchers argue that while PFOA is undoubtedly harmful in large amounts, the trace amounts that the average person would be exposed to from Teflon-coated products are unlikely to cause harm. This led to a tug-of-war between different factions. On one side were those who saw Teflon as a potential health hazard. On the other side were those who argued that the benefits and convenience of Teflon outweighed the potential risks. Despite the concerns, Teflon remains in use, leading us to wonder, is convenience worth the potential risk? As the debate continues, it's up to each of us to make informed decisions about the products we use and the potential risks we're willing to accept. In this modern age, we are left grappling with a dilemma. Teflon, the wonder material of the 20th century, known for its non-stick properties and high heat resistance, is now a subject of concern. Despite the mounting evidence of its potential health risks, Teflon continues to be widely used in various industries, especially in cookware. It's a classic case of the struggle between convenience and health. We've grown accustomed to the ease Teflon provides. It's hard to imagine a kitchen without non-stick pans that make cooking and cleaning so much easier. But at what cost? The potential health risks posed by Teflon, particularly when overheated, are hard to ignore. Studies suggest that exposure to the perfluorinated compounds released by heated Teflon may lead to various health issues, including cancer. But still, we find ourselves reaching for that non-stick pan. It's not that alternatives don't exist. Cast iron, stainless steel, and ceramic-coated cookware are all viable options. These materials do not pose the same potential health risks as Teflon. However, they lack the convenience and ease of use that Teflon offers. They require more care and maintenance, and food tends to stick, making cleaning more of a chore. So we find ourselves torn between choosing convenience and prioritizing health. In the midst of this dilemma, it's important to remember that the story of Teflon is not unique. It's a common narrative in the world of innovation. We often find ourselves balancing the advantages of new technologies with their potential risks. It's a constant tug-of-war between progress and precaution. The Teflon Dilemma is a reminder that we should always be vigilant and informed. We need to question, to investigate, to weigh the pros and cons before embracing any innovation. It's a delicate balance, but one that is necessary to ensure our health and well-being. As we continue to seek answers, one thing is clear. The story of Teflon is